Hello. So the coding exercise for this week is going to build on the Generative Tapestry example that we developed. So this program over here, the link to it from Glitch will be in the description. So what I want you to do for the exercise this week is use this as a framework and just experiment, getting familiar with P5.js and JavaScript. You won't be able to stray too far from this framework, so it gives you kind of constraints and something to play within. But where you can be creative and experiment is inside of these patterns, right? So you can decide to have 2 patterns or 4 or 3. Basically, I want you to reinvent the visual side of this generative system. So this was derived from 10print, which was really simple based on forward and backward slashes, but there's all kinds of visual elements we could put in here that when randomly combined will give us some interesting patterns. We can, we're not playing with color at all. We could have variations of color in here, but the framework is going to be the same. You can play with this probability idea, right? So you can, weight one pattern over another. So just kind of come up with your own design that's going to use this as its engine or as its framework. So you don't need to change the fundamental concept, which is choosing patterns at random. That's already been done for you. Just as a way to get comfortable with P5.js, though, you can start to change how these patterns are being drawn, right? So kind of rewriting these pattern functions, you can add or remove some as you need to, and you can make the code a little bit more interesting inside these patterns as well. It doesn't have to be lines, it could be other shapes, right? So this, I'm gonna let you play around with this, come up with a unique, interesting design, just your take on it. Yeah, so that's going to be our first coding exercise. Again, you can also choose to adjust the grid size, but it's going to remain within this framework. So to submit, you'll just build this, remix this on Glitch, play around with it, and then come up with your own version. And then you're going to share your Glitch project with me, and we're going to review them in the next class when we all get back together next week.